Welcome back to L&B Outdoors. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Today we're going to be working on this carburetor for our TO20. Remember last week it gave us some fits. And we're going to take this one off. We're going to put the original one back on after we rebuild it. Then we're going to tear this one down. So let's get started. Our workbench for today is brought to you by the little Santo Beaver tractor. The hood's the right height, and I needed the space. We're going to take this apart. I don't think there is much wrong with it, but we're going to find out. There ain't much to these little carburetors. But between the two, I should be able to make one of them halfway decent. And as you know, last week's video, that carburetor, it works good, but then all of a sudden it's like it gets some stopped up water, something. I don't know. But we got to make it work. We got to have a good running tractor. Alright. Looks like all of our bolts is out of it. Seems to be a little stuck. Man, looks like this is pretty clean. Looks like the needle is sticking. But that new kit comes with a new needle and seat. So that's good. Looks like the emulsion tube's brand new. Jet, whatever y'all want to call it. That right there. It's got little holes in it that you can see through if you'll stick it up to the light. I'm really pleased that's all clean. If y'all can see down in that or not. That looks pretty doggone clean. We're still going to blow it out with some carb cleaner. Make sure everything looks right. If you do any carburetors on small engines, get you a torch tip cleaner. That's going to be your best friend on cleaning some of these small orifices out. As you can see, mine gets used quite frequently. I think that's going to work for that. So here's your part number on the kit. It's basically your seals, your small jet, and your needle seat. If you flip it around to the back, you can see on there it says TO20. And that's what we got. And all the other models that it will work on. So we should have a new brass, or not brass, but washer for this tube. Comes off right there. See how that goes through. We're going to go through every port, make sure they're all cleaned out. So this is all clean. See how it sprays out of. That's looking good. Get our washer on. And that goes back down in here. And that is a 3/8. Takes a 3/8 wrench or socket. Alright, so our bottom half is done. See, it don't take long for that. We're going to set that to the side. Bring over your top. These are your floats. I did not get a set of floats with this kit. If I run into issues, then I'll have to go get a set of floats. This is a free floating pin that holds your floats on. Just slide it out. Set it to the side. Take and check your float. Look for obvious signs of distortion, cracks. Shake it. See if you can hear any fluid in it. Right now it looks good. We're going to reuse it. This is your needle and seat. Like I said, this stuff looks new, but now that needle was wanting to stick a little, so let's pull that out and look. Well, that's brand new. Rubber tip still good. Base in there still good. I think this carburetor was gone through and never put on. I mean, everything looks brand new. But that's good we're going through it so we can verify everything. I think I'll just save this kit. There ain't no sense in using all this stuff when it's all brand new. If y'all can see that or not. You know, Forrest Gump said it best. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That goes for a lot of things in life. Case in point, carburetor. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I think we're going to do us a solid and save all of this. We might even put it in that other carburetor that's giving us a fit. I wanted to put the original one back on here to keep it more authentic. And, well, you know, they just don't build things like they used to. These cheap Chinesium carbs that they selling and aftermarket stuff that they're selling ain't like the originals. And it's always good to have extra stuff like this on the shelf. You never know what other projects we may be getting. I'm going to put this back together. Gasket even looks like brand new. Yeah, it's kind of curled up on the edges, but I'm not worried about that. That's on the exterior, that don't matter. Alright, we're getting down to the short road now. You got your main needle back in. And on these, most everything that I do, I'll take it all the way down until it bottoms out. And don't hit it hard, just let it bottom out. So right there it won't go no more. You got your indicator. So we're going to go half turn, whole turn, half turn for a total of 1.5 turns. And I do the same thing with this needle. That gives you a good starting point for adjustments, if any is needed, and to fine tune this carburetor. So we're going to take it all the way in, just till it bottoms out, and don't crank it down. You can distort this brass and ruin this needle. So it just stopped right there. Take note of it. So I'm going to go a half turn, whole turn, another half turn. So about 1.5 on this and 1.5 on this. And that's going to be a good starting point. So the last few things is I've got to put the studs in here off the other carburetor and the fuel intake. So let's go to the tractor, pull that other carb off so we can swap some parts. So let's get this one taken off. Sorry about the wire kind of in y'all's view. We're not going to be here long, so I'm not taking it off. So I'll just apologize in advance. Next, we got our fuel line. I've done checked to make sure our fuel is off, so you will have some that'll probably dribble. That's okay, as long as you got the valve off. Hey, we didn't have none, that's good. Must have already evaporated. All right, we've got our nuts on these studs. It's on top of this manifold. Then we'll have 2 more connections on the back side of this. Once we get this down, we can kind of work with them a little better. Gasket's kind of wanting to stay. That's okay. All right, so at this point, you've got your control arm that comes off your governor. We've got to take that pin out, and we got to take this choke cable off, and then this carburetor will be ready to come off. My homemade makeshift choke cable. There's this carburetor. So let's take it over there. We got to remove these studs and this fuel inlet and swap it to the other one. There's a filter screen in it. I wish y'all could feel, I wish I had a set of scales where I could show y'all the difference in the weight of these carburetors and the construction, because that is some kind of difference right there. Still got a little thread tape on these. We're going to try it. If we got a leak, we'll come back and fix it later. Get our fuel line back on. Now we're going to set this to the side. We got to get these studs out. And you ask how we're going to do that? You're going to double nut it. Take your nuts, run them down. Tighten them up with each other. And take your bottom one, since you're going to be coming off. And back that stud out. Threads is clean. Take the other carburetor. Everything looks good. Stick it down in there. And tighten it with this one if you're going to tighten it. Top nut. Once you get it kind of snug, you're going to put your other wrench, crusher wrench, or whatever in here. Now you're going to release these two from each other. So one stud is on. That's how you do it. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. I'm going to set this one to the side. Let's bring this one over. Curiosity is getting the best of me. I want to see if there's anything in here that was holding us up. Not seeing much so far. But now, I don't know if y'all can see in there or not. There is some trash in the bottom of that, and lots of it. And that jet right there kind of looks a little dirty. All right, let's put this original one back on. All right, the old carburetor is on. We're going to see what happens. But I want to show y'all something. This tractor ain't been sitting but a week. I don't know if y'all can see them up there or not. Little devils. They are from the devil and they hurt. A wasper nest. All you gotta do is say bye-bye. Okay. We're good to go now. Alright, we're gonna turn the fuel on. Let it flow. We'll get up here and see if it'll fire off. Alright, we're gonna make sure it's in neutral, and I may have to choke it. Let's see what happens. No leak. That's good so far. Now we're going to let it sit for a minute and with the fuel on, and let's make sure that we're not flooding it out, the needle and seat ain't sticking. And we're going to go mow a few strips and make sure she's good. We got the other carburetor put back together. Got it taped up. No bugs or anything can get in it. Got our carb kit, and we'll put it on a shelf. We may have to have it one day. I don't throw much away. Let's go drive this thing, see what happens. Well, I think we fixed our carburetor issue on this TO20. You know, everybody says they just don't make them like they used to. Well, we put the old one back on it after we checked it out. Looked like somebody's already been through it, but we checked everything, made sure everything was right. I've made about 4 or 5 passes through some pretty thick stuff, bush hogging, and I ain't had a hiccup the first time yet. So that's a good thing. Maybe this will help some of y'all out. And we're going to get ready to hook up to the hay rake. And we're going to try to get some haying done in the near future. We got to get the hay rake going, the hay cutter going, the baler out. So that's what you're going to see in the upcoming videos here in a few weeks. But listen, I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Y'all take care. And we'll see y'all in the next video.